V Premium is a dead format. Bro, I'm gonna sell my whole collection. You still like gift markers? Bro, I'm just gonna go play Premium now. What's up YouTube, it's your boy Alex here from Team Generations. Back again with something a little bit different today. I don't think we've ever done like a video kind of discussion like this before. I'm just gonna play some B-roll footage and go over my thoughts. Is V Premium dead? What's the deal with overdress? You know, who is Premium really for? Is it a format that's gonna start thriving now? So a lot of different things to kind of cover in this video. We've got like a comment or two here or there asking about, you know, continuing on for V Premium and whatnot, because obviously this has been like a standard V Premium kind of channel as of right now. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I think I speak for a lot of my teammates too over the past couple weeks for the things we've discussed, and yeah, just our general outlook towards the future. So let's hop right in.
All right, so first off, thank you guys, everybody who has subscribed so far. We got over 300 subs now. I really can't believe it. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, just checking this stuff out for the first time, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. But let's jump right into it. So addressing the elephant in the room, first and foremost, is V Premium dead? TLDR, like, no, I personally don't believe so, and there's a couple different reasons why I think that. First off, let's take a little, I guess, a time leap back. Let's look back at the end of the G era, kind of, and what we thought when the standard format was being created. Basically, I think at the time they kind of came out and said that, you know, G format will be supported by itself, you know, it still will be its own kind of thing. But obviously Premium existed, and then Standard also existed. G format alone in a bubble just wasn't different enough from Premium. So if you were gonna play Premium, like, I mean, if you're gonna play G format, why not play Premium? Like, it just didn't make sense not to do that. I think the games were just way too similar to have one format kind of exist on its own. And I think we could see like a lot of other TCGs really come out and have different formats that honestly survive and thrive. Like in Magic, there's a couple different, there's, you know, Modern, Standard, obviously they have Commander, so a lot of different ways you can take a card game, and I think the more formats, you know, if your game is healthy enough to kind of support it, it is a good thing. When you're looking at V Premium, for example, I think that it is different enough from Premium, and it's going to be different enough from Overdress that we see players that are currently in V Premium who plan on picking up Overdress just kind of continue with it, because right now at the time of recording, clan selection has dropped. I know we've been like kind of really short on content the past like 2-3 weeks, sorry about that, but we've been testing clan selection a lot. I didn't want to put those videos up just because, like, you know, obviously testing out bugs and kinks and things like that, but I think clan selection is really great. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I think with like I said, V Premium is just different enough that I think the format can survive on its own when you're comparing it to, you know, Premium and Overdress. On top of that, like, I think there's just a lot of excitement right now around the clan selection. I think people have a really positive outlook on it. I know Bushy Road sent out that little announcement thing, that little survey that basically asked people, hey, what do you think of this product? And I think, you know, for a format that was like so bashed maybe like 5 months ago, I think people are really turning around on a lot of it. Like, people have these collections, you know, some people are going to sell it off, like that's completely fine, like you don't have to play every format or whatever, but I think enough people have invested in Standard to kind of have it just survive. And like, if we get support for each clan twice a year and they're at this power level, this could really be like a really fun format. If you looked at clan selection in a bubble and you said, you know, this is a tournament, you know, you're only allowed to play clan selection, I think you would see like a really diverse meta. I don't think, you know, there's like one card that necessarily beats out every other one. I know Chaos Breaker obviously is like a fan favorite. People are kind of clinging to that. That's the most expensive card probably in the set, but you know, it doesn't do like too great against certain decks. Like, it has the good matchups, it has the bad matchups overall, and I think from testing we've kind of seen that. But overall, I think this design team has done like such a great job with it. I think the cards, the reprints are amazing. You know, cards are now affordable. Like, I can feel so much more comfortable putting out a quote-unquote budget deck and like having some of these, you know, really good and effective cards, not just like random commons that kind of help like facilitate the strategy. So I really like that aspect of it. I think they did a great job with that, and I hope, you know, with twice a year support, like that's more than some clans received anyway. You know, Tachi's, Mega Colony, whatever it was, they all received support once a year, and most of the time it was lackluster. I think they actually did get pretty good support out of these two. So, you know, the lesser known clans or like the lesser loved clans, now we're going to see the same level of support as the, you know, protagonist clans and stuff like that. So I really think that this is a great product, and if they continue this, like, yeah, V Premium will be alive for the product side. Talking about like the competitive side, they're still supporting it for the, you know, Spring Fest, Fall Fest, things like that. I think they're still holding Worlds obviously for it if they're doing that. So the one part I don't like about that is they're probably going to hold it on the same day as Premium. So you kind of have to choose, you know, am I going to play V Standard or Premium? Like, I'll get into Premium in just a little bit, but that is unfortunate because I think, you know, I really want all three formats to thrive and survive. And I think that telling players to choose between one of the two plus their, standard overdress is, not the greatest in the world. But I totally understand they need to boil it down to 2 days. You can't really have all those events. Maybe, if you stagnate them a little bit, but that is the case. Overall, moving into like who is premium for now. So I've kind of discussed V Premium, who that's for, like, the people currently in it, people who want like a simpler kind of game in general, I guess, who still kind of like their gift markers and are happy with this twice a year support. Who is V Premium for? I mean, who is regular premium for now? So if you're somebody who's like stuck around throughout all the generations of Vanguard, you have this whole huge backlog of cards, like you understand the game from like pre-V and everything, like premium's totally for you. If you want a little bit more out of your game, a little bit more intricacy, like, your well of knowledge has to be a bit deeper, just to know the kind of like counterplays to certain cards. Premium is totally for you, and like that's not a dead format. I know a lot of people were kind of down on premium for a bit. I know in Japan, obviously, they don't play it too much, but I think Bushiroad kind of acknowledges and sees that here in America, premium is still alive. I'll say in New York, at least, like I don't see many premium tournaments at all. There's maybe like one last year. A couple of people do play it at my locals, but just kind of for fun. Their main format really was V at the time. So I think out in the Midwest, they play a lot more. And the West Coast, I see a lot of people posting about that. But here in New York, call me out in the comments if I'm wrong. But I don't think ton of people play premium competitively. But I think the format still is fine. Like, you have so many options now, and every single set coming out really is support for premium. And if you can wrap your mind around the card base, I think you're going to be absolutely fine. And there is a nice little gateway, I guess, into premium, and I think a lot of different channels have kind of been talking about that. I know Solemn has, Commander Jaime, Different Fight. A couple different people have been posting these things like, get into premium, because this is the hot time for it. Like, a lot of cards are juiced in price right now, I know, but there are these standard plus decks. There are these simple staples that basically you slap a G-Zone on, you slap them, swap out 1 or 2 cards, your triggers, that shouldn't be that much, and boom, you can get into premium. You're playing your third format, you can just swap out a few cards, like you can switch the deck between standard V Premium and regular premium pretty easily at this point. Now, I don't know once Overdress comes out, like, how easy it is going to be swap things in and out, but I think that it's a really good idea, and it makes it like a nice little entry point with some of the premium collection cards that came out last year. So go and check those articles out. I definitely think they are a huge help for anybody who's kind of new looking to get into premium. But yeah, finally, to kind of close off, I guess, the final couple minutes of this video, I want to talk about Overdress, like our team's thoughts in general. So I think, just like the community, we are very excited overall. I think V Premium right now, the format is a lot better than it was. I think Hamiel still needs to be kind of dealt with. I feel bad for Gabriel and stuff, but you're just playing solitaire and seeing if your opponent can have a fat hand by the time you get there. There's very little counterplay, since even if you counterstar them just the 2, you can pop down a no seal and give yourself that 3rd heal. So very little counterplay to that deck. But outside of that, the format's like all right. But obviously, the past couple months with Luar, with Gurgit, things like that, like there was a tier 0 format which just simply can't exist in a healthy TCG. It just cannot. So I think Overdress addressed a lot of, no pun intended, addressed a lot of different issues for us. I think that the Ride deck is a good inclusion. Breaking it down to now 5 nations, yeah, it does take away some of the kind of uniqueness of the game, but there are other formats if you want to stick to the clans. And I think that this is going to make it a lot easier to balance, first off, a lot easier just to continually get support. Like, you're not going to be playing, I don't know, Murakumo, and like you haven't got support in 6 months, and you're trying to keep up with these other decks, that really just kind of raised that power level. So every single set, I feel like each nation, maybe you don't play that archetype, but each nation, to an extent, will always be kind of at the forefront, and hopefully the power balance kind of just stays equal throughout. And I think the inherent skill of Persona Ride just slows the game down in a way that doesn't necessarily like 100% favor the person who goes first. The game has to go on to your second grade 3 ride, which I think, in general, it just should happen. Like, that's how the game should play out. You shouldn't get blown out on your first grade 3 ride. Like, it's sad that a lot of the standard decks that currently do that in V Premium just, that is the case, like Amiel with Gabriel and stuff. But overall, I think Overdress did kind of fix a lot of those issues, and I am excited. I think that the start decks being $4, maybe your locals will charge you $6 for it, or whatever it is, like, that's a really good way to get new players into the game and be kind of like almost issue an apology to the player base. Like, hey, look, sorry, we're rotating the format, but we're going to make it really easy for you to at least jump in, see if you like it, get your feet wet, and just see what it's about. So I'm just personally going to pick up, I think, each one of the trial decks, or start decks, I want to call them, because trial decks will still be, I think, a little bit more expensive, the $15-20 range that they normally were, but overall, I think the little $4 entry point is a nice apology note, or a nice little entryway, just to kind of get, maybe friends who play other TCGs into Vanguard. I think in general, they've just created a lot of excitement in the community. Like, I think everybody's kind of, this Megumi and the other one, the little waifu wars going on. I don't really follow it, but that's some positive excitement. I think that a lot of people are just looking forward to the different units, and I think they're really well designed. Like, everything we've seen out of, Keter Sanctuary, Stochia, whatever, like, I think everybody kind of has their own unique play style. I think that people are excited for it. Like, people like the skills, and I think the game has slowed down. I know that obviously this is just a start deck, but if they kind of continue this trend and keep on this kind of like design level, I trust this team. I think they'll do a good job with Overdress in general, so we'll see how it goes. Honestly, let me know your guys' thoughts too in the comment section below. Do you disagree with anything that I'm saying? Do you think Standard is a dead format like V Premium? What are your plans? Like, I'm really curious. Like, what do people plan to still play? What do people dislike about Overdress? What do they dislike about V Series right now? Like, I feel like there's not too many discussion boards out there, anything like that people won't get flamed on, so I'm not going to allow any flaming in the comments. If somebody posts, I still like Standard, and somebody else comments, you're a pleb or something like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. Thank you guys, and this is Alex from Team Generations signing out.